Good morning, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took 3 trades right at the market open. I'm going to tell you right off the bat that 2 of them failed and 1 of them hit my profit target. So it's a break-even day as far as my win rate is concerned. 33% is break-even for my plan because I trade 2R all or nothing. That means that every single trade I take, the reward is 2 times the risk. So 2 losers can be canceled out by 1 winner. But this is really important. I made a big mistake this morning that really is what led me to just a break-even day. I think that there's a very high probability that it would have been a one and done day. My very first trade would have gone to 2R and I would have been done for the day and had a 100% win rate. And I'll show you exactly the mistakes that I made this morning. I'm going to go over them in a lot of detail so that I don't make them again and so that you don't have to make them from the beginning. Now, one thing I want to point out, if the more astute and observant of you out there might notice this big gouge kind of in my account value. It looks like if I was watching this video, I'd probably think, okay, this guy did some type of YOLO trade, lost a bunch of money, deposited some money back and brought the account value up, something like that. I mean, your account value is not going to go back up in one day from a deposit. But I just want to explain that because this looks really weird. This has got to be some sort of glitch. I mean, if you go up here, you could see the account value on July 5th was $12.79 and then drops all the way down to like $12.10 on July 6th. There's no explaining that, and there's no deposits. I'll show you that right now. I can show you my deposit history. Here's my transfer history. There's no filter set to like filter out certain dates or anything. This is everything. My last deposit was on May 19th, and so today's July 7th. So I haven't deposited any money in this account in a long time. And we can look at the trading P&L. We'll customize it. We'll look at just this week since that happened on July 6th. So let's go from July 5th to today. So there should be, if this was accurate, there should be like a $70 loss in here. Obviously there isn't. So I don't know what's going on. Like I said, this is just some type of a glitch or something. So anyway, just wanted to point that out because you might think something's going on or I'm trying to hide something from you, and that is definitely not the case. So let's take a look first at the screener, and then we can start talking about the very first mistake that I made this morning. So I'm using my mid-cap screener, and I really highly recommend you having this open on a separate computer than what you're trading with, because first of all, you have to hit those 3 little dots, right, and hit modify for these filters to become active. Then the second thing, when the market opens, and I think this happens on just about every screener, every platform, because I've seen a lot of complaints from other traders trading other platforms using, say, my criteria, and I'll take a trade on something because it was on my screener, and they'll say, I didn't even see that on my screener. So I think this is an issue with multiple platforms and screeners in general, because there's a huge influx of data right at the market open, and the screener, I don't know, can't refresh it all or pick it all up at one time right at the open. So you really should practice restarting whatever screener you're using right at the open, say until, I would say, between 9:30 and 9:35, and once you start seeing the same stocks pop up on each restart, then you can obviously stop restarting it. You know that you're getting the correct data. But this was a huge error that I made this morning, was I didn't restart it until much later, and I missed out on the really good stocks to be trading off of the screener, and I'll show you what those were. They're not up here anymore. Things have changed at this point. But let's get to the video and you'll see what I'm talking about here. So this is the second mistake that I made. So beside not restarting the screener, the other big mistake that I made, and I wrote it into my plan today, so I'll show you that as well, is I preloaded my chart. Let me just back this video up a little bit, and you can see that the market hasn't even opened yet. It's 9:29.57. And I pulled this stock up onto my chart because I saw it on the screener during the pre-market. Now, so this was the top gainer on the mid-cap screener, on my mid-cap screener in the pre-market. Therefore, I thought, okay, maybe there's a good chance this thing's going to break out. That's just not a good thing to do, because once you start preloading your charts like this, you're going to be vested in those stocks. You're going to think, okay, I found one in the pre-market, a good mover. Then, I really got to watch this at the open because this one could be the one that takes off. And that's really a stupid kind of psychological trap to let yourself fall into, because now you're going to want to take a trade on it. You're going to be looking for trades on it, and you're going to miss out on probably better opportunities, and that's exactly what happened to me today. So I added this to my plan. So restart screener between 9:30 and 9:35 multiple times. So that we talked about, and then don't preload your charts with stocks from the pre-market. That's what I was just explaining to you, and we'll see exactly the result of me preloading the charts. So I had marked out the previous high, which was $71 on that stock. CLOV was trading below the 200 MA, so that one I just ended up ignoring, and the same thing with TIGR. I think those only popped up on the screener though because I didn't restart it. You could see that these kind of are in downtrend, so I just ignored those right away. And as I said, BIGC, I marked out the pre-market high, which was $71. So then it comes up and breaks it, and then I take a trade on it at once it makes a it has a 1 minute candle that makes a new high. SID popped up on the screener, but it had really no volume. It wasn't even trading with 500,000 shares, so I ignored it even though it's up here, but just so you know why it's there. So here is the first entry that I take. You can see I'm hovering over this candle right here, and the high is 70.90. So as soon as I see the price break out above that level, so there's 70.90, I'm going to press play right now. There's 70.98, 95. I was a little bit late triggering my hotkeys, and then this thing was pretty spready. I don't think there was quite enough volume in this stock, and there was a big spreads, so I got executed way lower actually, and then I had to move my buy order up and got filled at 70.97, so it's about 6 cents higher than I wanted to get in, which is not a issue at all on a $70 stock. 6 cents is nothing as far as slippage goes, but that wasn't the problem here. The problem was that I preloaded the chart, as I said, and then as always, using my 2-hour calculator, getting my profit target and my stop loss in place. And let's see, so now here's where I've restarted the screener. You can't see that because it's on a different computer, but you could tell because I started to put up the stocks that were really moving. Let's see, okay, right here. So Newegg, as soon as I restarted my screener, it was clear as day. Like boom, there's Newegg taking off. It was gaining like 30%, something like that. I pull it up on the chart and I notice right away, okay, I missed my entry, which would have been right here for the break of this red candle. It would have been on this candle that I would have entered on, and you could see that Newegg is taking off without me. It's not coming back down, so there's no way that I can get back into it, and it's coming up near where my would-be 2-hour profit target is. So I pretty much just have to let it go, because once that happens, once my 2-hour profit target has been hit, then I can no longer get back in because it's a riskier trade. Sometimes you get lucky and the stocks give you 2-hour trades or even 3, but that's pretty rare. So it's a lower probability, so I just avoid it. If I miss out on the first 2-hour trade, then I just let it go. If I can't get in on a retest, then that's it, I've missed it. So that's what happened here on Newegg, but obviously that trade would have worked out really well. And JKS was another one that was up on the screener, making a big move and now pulling back. So this one still, I had some hope that I could get into it, and you could see that BIGC just stopped me out right there, and it didn't come down and break. So this red line represents point A of the ABCD pattern. So the price would have to come down below 69.15 in order for it to be failed. So at that point, I could still take an entry. I wasn't really aware, of all the mistakes that I made at this point while I was trading. Otherwise, I would have just said, you know what, let me just get rid of this BIGC stock, get it off the list. Let me focus on these other stocks. But instead, I was kind of just in the zone, and I was trading my plan, sticking to my strategy, which is to get back into these once I get stopped out, as long as the price doesn't come down below point A, which it didn't. It just kind of got near it and bounced off of it. So my strategy says to get back in as soon as a 1 minute candle makes a new high. So you'll see me do that in just a moment. And also I was checking out Newegg and noticing, okay, yeah, this thing definitely hit my 2-hour profit target, because 1 hour would have been from here to here. So 2R is twice that distance, so somewhere up here, and I did ended up marking it on the chart, so you'll see that later. JKS, I'm checking out where I would have gotten in on this one. So here's the pullback, and then a 1 minute candle makes a new high. Obviously there was an entry back here as well. I would have been stopped out on that, But again, my plan and strategy says if I get stopped out, I get back in as long as the point A hasn't been broken, and point A is like way down here somewhere. So I'm just checking out, okay, this would have been my second entry on JKS. And this would have been my stop loss for that second entry, which just got triggered. But again, I would get back in on the next entry as long as point A is not broken. So that's what I'm looking for right now. And here's where the second entry gets, or the next entry gets triggered. Right there is when that 1 minute candle makes a new high. I miss it, but I do get it on the retest before it hits my profit target. So right there, the price comes back down. I think 61.61 was my ideal. I was, again, a little late on the hotkeys, and I got filled at 61.65. So quite a bit of slippage there. But again, if the stock is really strong, if the pattern's really good, and there's volume, it shouldn't really matter that much if you get a little bit of slippage. So you'll see what happened with this trade. So there's my profit target. It's going to be 62.97. For whatever reason, the graphic bubble popped right back up, even though it's showing that it filled me, or not filled me, but moved that order to 62.97. And I noticed that in just a second and moved it back down. So I don't know what's going on with that. 62.97. I just moved it back down, but I mean, you could see that the order notification didn't change there, and then I get filled. Like I was in that trade for like 2 minutes, boom, went right to 2R. So that was a nice, easy 2R trade. Newegg would have been a nice, easy 2R trade. I would have been done probably after that trade. That would have been the only trade I would have taken, but instead I totally messed myself up by preloading my chart with BIGC from the pre-market, and then just thinking, okay, this is one I really got to keep an eye on. I'm just not a big believer in pre-market watch lists or watch lists in general when you are day trading. I think the best thing to do is to have a screener criteria. Keep an eye on your screener, find out what's trading at the open, and then you look for a pattern, you look for your criteria to be met, and you take a trade. That's just the way day trading works because it's such a much shorter time frame. It doesn't always matter what was trading in the pre-market or the aftermarket or the day before. It really matters what's trading right now because that's how long your trade is only going to last for probably a few minutes if you're day trading. So anyway, that's pretty much it. The only other thing I did was move my stop up on SPXL, and so we could take a look at the spreadsheet. So here's the win rate, 33%. Lost a little bit of money in those test trades. Again, this test trading is not about the money, but still, green, even though we're not trying to make money off of this, but it's not costing us any money. That's always nice. Even though I made some big mistakes here on BIGC, I still need to outline those as error trades. I like to put, you'll see here, back here, like a red box around them to signify that they were taken in error. And I count the statistics a little differently. I'll show you what I'm talking about when I take a trade in error. So, and there's my winning trade on JKS. So let's look at, so the average win rate based off of the average of these numbers right here is basically 55%, which is really good. But I think more accurate is this number, or really probably the average of these two numbers here, which is about 46%, because this number here is all of the winning trades divided by all of the total trades that I've taken, including the error trades. So then this is the win rate without error. So this is more of a reflection of the plan itself, like kind of removing the human error, removing myself. So the plan itself is very profitable because 33% is break even. It's at 52%. With my human error, it's at 40%. So you can see how much, we can really screw things up, even though I've been doing this a long time now. And the average of those two numbers, which is kind of a reflection of as I get better with this trading, because I'm doing 100 trades like this, so I should improve logically, that maybe when I implement this plan, if it continues to be profitable, maybe my average win rate or my win rate will be somewhere closer to here, because obviously I'll never be a perfect trader, but maybe I'll be a better trader than I am right now. So that's where that number comes from. And this is just the win rate after 3 trades only, including all the error trades and everything. So all this statistic does is remove trades 4 and 5 that I'm no longer taking, and 6. I'm no longer taking any more trades than 3 trades at the open, no matter what happens. And that's it. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Let me know if you have any questions about these trades or this plan or the mistakes that I made or anything like that, or Webull, whatever. And I'll get back to you in the comment section. As always, go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.